Sorry, can we go to the next slide? All right, so time is a valuable resource that needs to be spent wisely. Let us assist you on this journey. And again, the beauty of it is for Irish visa, you can actually apply 6 months before your start date. It used to be 3 months, but it's been extended because of the visa delays. So the standard turnaround for visa is 6 to 8 weeks. It can be more than that, but that's the standard turnaround, 6 to 8 weeks. So can we go to the next slide? So thank you very much. I've come to the end of this presentation, and please, we're going to leave this. If you're from Ghana, you have if you're from Ghana, we have contacts for our colleagues in Ghana, in East Legon, Kumasi, and Osu. Sorry, can we leave that page? Yes, thank you. So, and if you're from Nigeria, you can reach us on any of the contacts on the screen. Thank you very much, and I've come to the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Lovely. Thank you so much for the presentation. That was really informative and straight to the point. So before we start taking questions from the chat box, I do have a couple of questions. I do know that students usually ask, and I've looked through the chat box and I've seen a couple of students asking those same questions. So to help save time, I'm just going to pick up some of those questions and ask to you directly. And then once we're done with those 4 or 5 questions, I would now direct questions to our other colleagues who are on the call, who are also visa experts, so that you could take a break. Is that okay?
Okay, all right, thank you. Yeah,
Oh,
fine.
okay. Okay, so the first question is, are international students allowed to bring independence to Ireland while studying?
Okay, so unfortunately, students are not allowed to bring in dependents to Ireland. But if you're going on a PhD, if your course is if you're going to study PhD, yes, because of the long duration is 3 to 4 years. So you can be allowed to bring in dependents. But if you're going for a year master's or undergraduate, unfortunately, no, they don't.
Okay. Okay, thank you very
Yeah.
much. I know you already mentioned this visa turnaround time, but could you just repeat it so that students can have it at the front of their mind, the visa turnaround time? Yes, because the problem with this part of the world in West Africa is we usually like to leave things to the very last minute. Okay,
Mm.
and then expect miracles. So could you just remind us of the event visa turnaround time, please?
Okay, so the visa turnaround is 6 to 8 weeks. However, we advise students to come to us even 6 months before your start date. Why we do that is we look at the bank statement, and if we need, because we've had cases where students had to defer because the bank statement provided wasn't even okay. Do you understand? Looking at the bank statement, we knew that this would cause refusal. So we just advised them, okay, can you defer? Let's start working on your bank statements. We've done that for students. So honestly, I would advise students, regardless of the turnaround, which is the visa turnaround, which is 6 to 8 weeks, it's important you make up your mind early. Meet us, let's go through this document together and start, so that you can work on your bank statement basically. And also let your sponsor know what is expected to provide. Okay. So
Okay.
please, it's not like the UK that you can, I think for Ireland, Ireland is like Canada and Australia. It's better to start early.
Yes. Thank you very, very much. So the next question is, can a student use education bond in place of a bank account statement to show evidence of funds?
Okay, so I think I talked about that, but for education bond, yes, you can use that. But um, we noticed that, in fact, when we had the meeting with the visa officers, I actually asked this question, and they told us that we should advise students to also provide bank statements. And that's because, according to them, because of corruption, they still want to see the bank statement from where the bond was purchased from. All right. So if you're purchasing bond, know that they want to see the bank statement, that particular bank statement, where the money, where you paid from, they want to see that bank statement. All right. So it's important to know this so that when you're planning your bank statement, planning your spending, you know actually how to work around this. All right. Even for your fees, they want to see the bank statement from where the fees was paid from. They want to see the bank statement from where the bond was purchased from. So if you ask me, that defeats the purpose for education
The
bond.
education bond, yes. Yes. Okay, thank you very much for that. So, is it possible to appeal a study visa refusal?
Yes, yes. And sometimes when they have time, I would put it that way, they'll email you, to ask for more documents. But when they feel, oh, we have a lot to deal with, they refuse and they tell you you have 2 weeks to, appeal against your decision if you wish to appeal for this. So most times we tell students, don't panic. When they refuse, you come with a refusal letter. Let's look at the concerns raised and also look at the documents you provided and advise on how to, fill up these gaps and send them what they have asked for. So yes, it's advisable to appeal.
Okay,
I can
okay,
tell you
thank you.
that 98% of our appeals turned out successful.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the final question for you, will a previous visa refusal to another country have a negative effect on a study visa application?
Not at all. Not
Oh,
at all. Yeah, so it's important to declare all refusals. It doesn't affect it at all.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank
Sorry
you
to come
so
in, please.
very much. Yeah,
Sorry to
sure.
come in. Yeah. So, yes, Lovely's response is actually very correct. However, if your refusal is based on ban from another country, it may actually affect your visa application. And again, if your refusal is based on fraudulent documentation without any proper explanation as to why you provided fraudulent documents with the visa application to another country, then you stand the risk of getting a refusal.
Okay.
Thank you very much
Okay.
for that, Martins. Thank you very much. Yes, very important. So if you receive the ban from a country, remember they share information. Ireland shares information with the UK, with Canada, Australia, the US. So if you've received any refusal that is not banned, that's fine. But if it is banned, chances will be very slim. That's the truth. Regardless of the reason, it will be very slim because for a country to ban you, it's either you provided, it might be that you've had criminal charges before that you didn't declare, or you provided false documents, of course, and that is automatic ban. So yes, thanks for that, Martins.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lovely, and thank you, Mr. Martins. So I will now move on to the questions in the chat box. Lovely, and thank you so very much. I
You're
think
welcome.
so that you could grab a bottle of water or something. I will direct the questions to our other seasoned counselors who are on this call as well, and I'm sure they will be happy to take the questions. All right,
Thank
so
you.
just a second. Let me get to the top of this the list of questions. Oh, okay. A guest was asking for the cost of tuition fee. I'm sure Loveline already covered that. It's between 9,000 to 20,000 euros, depending on the university. Okay. Um, Okay, actually from 9,000 euros to 22,000 euros. Yes, I guess that's what she said in the presentation. So depending on the university you are going to, that's the range of the tuition fee. Okay. The cost of tuition fees in Ireland and duration of the masters, I believe we've covered that. Masters is for 1 year, and the cost of the tuition fee ranges from 9,000 euros to 22,000 euros. Okay. What about aircraft courses? I believe there are Irish universities that have courses when it comes to aeronautical engineering and other aerospace courses. So this is a visa seminar, so we cannot give you the list of all the universities we work with that offer courses regarding aerospace engineering. But what I would advise you to do is to reach out to the nearest UKES office closest to you. I don't know whether you're joining us from Ghana or Nigeria, but we have the list of all our offices on your screen right now. So all you need to do is to call or send an email to any of the UKES offices closest to you, and a counselor would be more than happy to get back to you with that information. Um, okay, so I envisaged this question, so I already asked it earlier about family relocation. So based on Loveline's presentation, you can only relocate with your family um, if you are going to study a PhD, and that's because of the length of the course. It's usually 3 to 4 years. So they would understand that you cannot be um, away from your family for that long. But if you're going for a postgraduate study, it's just for 1 year, so they do not expect you to come along with your family. So that's not possible. And then, of course, if you're going for an undergraduate course, the expectation is that you are still very young and can have a family. So there is no provision for that. Okay. Even though we know, some people would always want to start afresh and all that, but once you're studying at an undergraduate or master's level, you cannot come with your family. Um, Emmanuel wants to know if there's any tuition-free course. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any tuition-free course in Ireland. Okay, that's not something we come across as professionals on a day-to-day. Yes. Adesola, no, UKES does not offer any scholarships, but sometimes the schools we work with, yes, sometimes with the schools we work with do give us some sort of discount to offer to our students. So students that we bring to these schools, sometimes they give us a discount to give to the student, and that's where we come in. But if you want any kind of scholarship or full scholarships, you would have to apply through scholarship boards. Okay. All right. So
Okay, sorry, let me just buttress on that a bit. So
yes.
For our audience, I mean, basically, if you look at your screen, you would see the list of UK's partner universities and colleges in Ireland. So these are basically the universities and colleges we represent in Ireland. And the good thing is that some of them are very generous. Some of them could give discounts in the range of 1,000 of tuition, 2,000 of tuition, depending on the institution, so to say. So for the person who asked what schools to apply to, on your screen details virtually all these universities and colleges we are affiliated to in Ireland. And I hope you find that useful.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Martin. All right, so the next question is about the IELTS. So maybe I would allow my senior colleague, Mrs. Jumoke, to answer this question. So, hello, Jumoke, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. So this question is about the IELTS. So the student wants to know whether he needs to write an IELTS for a study visa in Ireland.
Yes, so we get this question a lot, and typically I advise everybody to go ahead to book a date to write it, because we've noticed over the years that even if the school gives you an exemption from that, and you don't need to write it to get an offer, the embassy will request for it in most cases. So just go ahead and book a date for writing that, and then while you're sorting out getting your offer out from school and every other thing, you can get your results out and then you can use it for your visa application.
Okay, thank you very much. Just to
And
clarify.
to add to what Jumoke rightly mentioned, the result from Pearson. So in other words, you have the option to sit for the Pearson test of English, or you could sit for the IELTS.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Martins. I just wanted to clarify one more thing. The IELTS exam you're supposed to write, Jumoke, do you think is the IELTS general or the IELTS academic? You know, there are different shades of IELTS exams out there. So which would you advise a
so
student?
it should be the academic one, should be the academic IELTS, yes, specifically, not the general.
Okay. I think I preempted someone because someone just dropped that question right now. So yes, please,
Yes.
it's the IELTS academic you are expected to write. And then like Mr. Martins also rightly mentioned, if you cannot write the IELTS, the PTE academic is also a very, very good option. And it's also quite flexible as well. So you could write any of these exams and you'll be able to um, use that for your visa application. The Duolingo test is a tricky part. Okay.
Hello,
I know.
Ikena, can I come in?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, so for Duolingo, yes, universities in Ireland accept Duolingo. All right.
Okay.
So sometime in January, it was in January, we received an email that for students looking to join them in September 2021 can write Duolingo. So I can't specifically answer that for 2022. So if you're looking to join, to travel in 2021, September, yes, you can go ahead to write Duolingo test. All right, Duolingo, Pearson test of English, or IELTS academic. They also accept TOEFL, yeah, IBT.
Okay. So I guess that answers any question concerning English language requirements. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so the next question is about working during holidays. I believe Loveling covered that in her presentation. Yes, you can work unlimited hours during your holidays. As long as it's not term time, you can work unlimited hours, 40 hours or more, depending on your endurance, I guess. But once it's term time, you're limited to 20 hours per week, part-time. When is your next training? Okay, we would inform you of our next training. Okay, when it comes to the Irish visa, but instead of waiting for the next training, why not reach out to the closest UKES office, and you would have a dedicated counselor answer your questions. Okay. All right. So the next question, I believe we answered this question. I just answered it. Is it possible to work more than 20 hours? No, please. During term time, please do not work more than 20 hours. If you are caught, it could invalidate your student visa. And what that means is you would be asked to leave the country. All right. So please do not work more than 20 hours. Okay. Asori is asking for the current COVID records in Ireland. Okay, Asori, if you could drop your email or reach out to any of the UKS offices. Don't drop your email, please, so that you know, want to protect your information. So reach out to any of the UKS offices closest to you. Yes, and they would be more than happy to answer or share the COVID records with you. Okay, so I would ask my senior colleague, Mr. Abubakar, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Abubakar, can you hear me?
Okay, yes. Abubakar stepped out a bit. He had something he needed to quickly attend to, so you could pass the question to maybe Ife or anyone else. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Ife, can you hear me? Hello? Okay, I think she just stepped out. So Jumoke, please, could you take this question? I think this is a bit technical. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So this student wants to know if there is a discrimination on having HND or NECO results. So when you're making an application to an Irish university and you have a HND, would you experience, can you go ahead to do like a postgraduate study with a HND directly, or you might have to make that up to a BSc and something like that?
Oh, well, typically, if you have your NECO results, you can present the result. But like we said, you need to back it up with your English language. So either IELTS or some other additional English language tests. We've mentioned Pearson, we've mentioned TOEFL. For this year, Duolingo as well. And then if you have your HND, depending on the school, we typically advise you to try to transfer credits because a lot of the schools don't accept the HND as a qualification directly. So you can transfer credits for advanced entry, or if you have an upper credit, in some cases, some of the schools will give a concession in that regard. So there's no hard and fast rule as regards that. It's a case-by-case basis, and it's also determined by the schools. So you need to get in touch with the UKES office closest to where you reside and have your counselor actually put in the application, and then the schools will either decide to give you an offer for advanced entry, or they will tell you straight up that they don't accept that and they will request that you need to start from direct undergraduate, or in some cases, if you have excellent grades, you can actually do a postgraduate diploma post-bac leading to the master's. So it actually depends on what you have and which of the schools in Ireland you want to apply to.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you also answer this for us? Can someone going to study at a diploma level qualify for the post-study work?
Yes, so if you're doing a diploma, you still get to study and work. Everybody gets that option. As long as you have a student visa, you get to study and work. And the caveat is that we need to be aware of the number of hours you are eligible to study for, and be sure you don't go outside that, because at the end of the day, when you're studying and working and you keep to the rules, you can get a post-study visa equivalent to the number of years you've studied. So if your course is for 18 months, you can get a post-study visa of 18 months as well. So it depends on what you're studying.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. I believe we've answered Amaka's questions. You can only come along with your dependents if you are studying at a PhD level. Okay. All right. So a guest wants to know if he can use the statement of results in place of his transcript for visa application. Jumoke, can you shed more light on that? So a part of his academic documents,
for visa application.
Yes, I think that's what he's asking.
So the final result, that's the certificate, hasn't been issued. That's
Yes.
a bit tricky. But what I will advise the person to do, if they can get a letter of attestation duly signed and stamped, dated by the institution, acknowledging the fact that the certificate has not been issued, then they can back it up with that statement of results. But typically, they are expected to actually have their certificates. Ireland has become a bit more meticulous as regards their requirements for visa. But if you preempt the question that will be raised as regards why you're using that statement and not a certificate by sending in additional supporting documentation, then that should solve that.
To add to Jumoke's response, so I mean, the person is saying if he or she could use statement of result in place of a transcript. Now, before you get to the visa stage, the university or the college you have applied to would have made assessment and made a decision on your application. And there's no way a college or university will make assessment and they issue you an unconditional offer, then go ahead to issue you a visa letter without having a look through your transcript. So if you go through that entire process with a university or college in Ireland, then why are you not able to provide the transcript for visa application? So that's the big question. So if you go through that process and you have your transcript, it's advisable to provide that transcript along with that statement of result, for your visa application, and any explanation as to why you do not have your final degree certificate.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Martins. Thank you, Jumoke. Audrey, yes, you missed some part of the presentation, but that's fine. I would advise that you get in touch with the UKAS office closest to you. We can always share that information with you face to face, okay, or via email. All right. Thank you. We've answered this question about dependents going, okay? You cannot go with your dependents unless you are studying at a PhD level. Okay. All right. Do universities in Ireland run top-up programs? Okay. Jumoke, do you want to help us with this one?
Yes, IK. So like I think I mentioned earlier, it's not so much a top up the way we know it that the UK does the top up, but you could try to get in for advanced entry, transferring your credits. So like I mentioned earlier too, it's not automatic, it's a case-by-case basis. So the person would need to present their transcripts, like Martin rightly said, showing all the courses that have been studied till date. And then based on that, the school's admissions committee will advise on where they can fit the students into. So we can't really call it a top-up, but yes, you can actually transfer credits and get advanced entry based on prior knowledge.
Okay. So I have an important question here. I would also want you to take.
Sorry, Kenna, can I add to what Jumoke just said?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Okay, so because we know we have some HND holders here. So some universities will accept what we call year 3. They call it completion entry. So it's like a top up, but they don't call it top up. Dublin Business School has that. So if you have your upper credits in HND, they can fix you up to, it's like transferring credit. Of course, it will be joining the final year of the degree program. So it's more like top up, but they don't call it top up. So not many universities offer that, or colleges, just very few. So if you have HND upper credit and you're looking to study, because with that, they can't give you higher diploma. There's an option for higher diploma. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. Now, higher diploma is just like pre-masters, is what we call pre-masters in the UK and postgraduate diploma in Nigeria. So if you have your third class, and of course, most universities in Ireland don't accept third class. So if you have a third class, they tell you, sorry, they can't help. But few universities and colleges offer higher diploma where they can absorb students with third class. And of course, with your higher diploma, you can still work, you can enjoy the post-study work, but it has to be 1 year because it's at degree level, all right? So that is also available. So yes, with HND, you can get year, they call it completion year, that's year 3 entry into Dublin Business School and some other colleges in Ireland. I hope that's fine. I hope that is clear.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank
Yes. Thank you very much, Loveline. I guess I should direct this question to you because this is quite a tricky one. The student wants to know, should my sponsor have a particular amount in his or her bank statement, or should the money be running in the account or has to be deposited there? So I guess what this person is asking is for the financial statement, if he's being sponsored, okay, and so let's say his dad or his mom is providing their bank statement, is there a minimum amount to be shown in the account running, or the account can just be going, money can just be flowing in and out like that? Lovely. I don't know if you could shed more light on that.
Okay,
Hello,
yes,
ma'am.
I'm happy to answer that. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay,
Yes, we
great.
can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So yes, so there's no minimum amount, but what they want to say is at least the minimum balance should cover what is required. All right. So most universities in Ireland will ask students to pay their fees in full, their first year fees in full, or their master's year, or their master's fees in full. Just very few of them would ask you to pay at least 6,000. All right. So where you have paid your full fees, the bank statement your sponsor is providing should have at least 7,000 euros. That should be like 4 million, I think 3.9, 3.8, 4 million. But what we advise students is if you're not the person, if you're not sponsoring yourself, if you're not self-sponsored, if you have your uncle somewhere or a friend sponsoring you, it would be ideal for the person to only show bank statement having the exact amount in the account. Now, the question is, if this person is expending this amount of money on you, what happens to his family? What happens to him? What else does he do? All right. And that's why we ask parents that, okay, if your parent is sponsoring you, they can also provide property documents. They want to see more financial documents. All right. But if your father is sponsoring you, if he's a business owner and his personal account shows the living expenses, then it's fine because they know, okay, there's another source of income. This guy has good source of income, so he'll be able to take care of, the other family members, while you take this. All right, so it's more like Canada visa requirements, the way they see bank statement. All right, so please, if you're the one sponsoring yourself, after you paid your full fees and you're going for masters, it's easy for you to just show your 7,000 pounds, 7,000 euros. You understand? They will know that, oh, at least you've paid your fees and you've been able to explain everything you do and your financial document. So fine. But if you're a sponsored student, yes, they can, in some cases it will fly if your sponsor provides exact amount in the bank statement. But we always advise, even if it's at least plus 1 million. Okay. So I hope I've been able to answer that.
Yes,
Hello?
yes, thank you very much. So,
Okay.
yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much. I guess for Ibrahim, the basic thing is your sponsor should have more than what you need, okay, for your living expense. It's very important, okay? The next question is also quite important. I'll take that myself. So he wants to know how much we charge for visa application. Okay. I said this earlier while we started, but UKAS offer free services. Okay, so all our services, our application services, our visa counseling, everything is free. You would not be asked to pay a single dime. Okay, so please feel free to reach out to any of our offices closest to you, and we will help you with that visa application. I mean, what's the point of, you know, going at it yourself and running the risk of making mistake code application when we are more than happy to do for you? Okay.
Okay, Ikena, just to add to what you rightly mentioned. So UKS offers free services, and I must emphasize, because someone there will be wondering. So I mean, why are you guys offering free service? What is in for you and things like that?
Yes.
So basically, we are affiliated to the universities and colleges we displayed on the screen some moments ago. So the relationship is such that we are expected to support every student from Nigeria and Ghana, and they guide them through the entire process and make sure they get enrolled successfully into those universities and colleges. So that's basically why we offer that service free of charge to you.
Okay.
And
Thank
by
you
the
very
way,
much,
if you
Mr.
are
Matt.
looking to apply to any other school other than those listed on the screen, we are not able to help because we can only help with application to the schools and colleges we are affiliated to.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Martins, for shedding more light on that. Okay, so Janab, like we've all said, there is no charges for our support. Okay, but of course, you would have to pay your visa fee and all that yourself, and any tuition fee you have to pay. Of course, you have to do that. But for UKEAS, you don't pay anything to us. All right, so Otman, we do not assist with student loans, unfortunately. So you'd have to secure your source of funding yourself. Okay. So I don't know whether you are joining us from Ghana or Nigeria, but if you want to take a student loan, then you should speak to your financial advisor, or you can also speak to a UKS counsel, and they might be able to direct you to, um, you know, someone you could speak, maybe a bank or something. But for UKEAS as a company, we do not offer student loans. I hope that clarifies that. All right. Then we've also answered this question about HND. You might have to do an advanced entry before progressing to masters. Okay. All right. Thank you. So Damilola, I believe we've just answered this question for the visa application. Okay. Uh, Statement of result and transcript. You would have to have your certificate. Okay. We've answered that question. Sharon, we've also answered the question about student loan. We do not assist with student loans. Okay. Yes, Stanley, this question has also been answered. You are asking if universities in Ireland allow transfer students coming from other countries while crediting they're already taking units. Yes, so you can transfer units from your previous education, especially if you have a HND and you want to do the equivalent of a top-up program or a pre-masters, okay, advanced diploma or something. You can transfer credit. Yes. Asore wants to know, he's heard that Ireland is very safe. Does it mean crime rate is zero? Well, sorry, Charles, sorry to bust your bubble, but I don't think there's anywhere in the world where the crime rate is absolutely zero. Okay. But Ireland is as safe as you can find anywhere. Okay. So if your choice is to study in Ireland, you would be making a very good choice. And I'm sure you would have a very safe time. I've not had any issues with our students who are currently studying in Ireland. Okay. So that's something you want to consider. Okay. I believe this person is joining us from Ghana. I'll say he says, at what age can someone apply for the master's program? I don't think there's an age requirement, but Jumoke, do you want to say something about this?
So for that, I would like to say that we're not majorly concerned with the lower limit of the age, but what you want to consider will be the fact that if you've done a BSc or an undergraduate program and you finished it successfully, you should be over 18. So you should be able to run your master's program. I haven't had anybody below that age come into the office, but like I said, I don't think we'll have any problems getting you onto a master's program. Just send in your documents and we'll run it by the school. And then if there's any issue, I'm sure we'll be able to think of what to do as regards that, but there is no lower limit of age as regards running your master's program. What we might be a bit concerned about would be maybe an upper limit, in which case, even that isn't a major issue. All you would need to do is to prove to the school that you can actually cope with the level of studies, and maybe you've done a few continual accreditations or something to show that you still are able to cope with learning at an advanced age. So there's no restriction as regards the age.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. I just want to issue a disclaimer. I can see a guest dropping a link, a WhatsApp link for students who want to go to a particular university college, Dublin. Please, this message is not affiliated with UKEAS in any way, so please do not join this WhatsApp group, okay? And please be very careful when interacting with anyone, especially if they claim to represent UKEAS. Do not pay any money to anybody's personal account. Okay, please, that is really, really important, because I can see a message requesting for people to join a WhatsApp group if you're going to University College Dublin. So please, whoever you are, this person, please do not drop this message again.
Okay, please, can you delete the message immediately? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right. All right. So, okay, yes. So let me just go back to the questions. Sorry about that.
One message was that.
So, what's the difference between Northern Ireland and Ireland Republic? What's the difference? Okay, Jumoke, would you want to just run that through? I know Loveland talked about
Yes.
that during the presentation, but could you just shed more light on that, please?
Yes, so Loveland actually mentioned it, and I think I replied to that chat as well. So
Okay.
Northern Ireland is actually in the UK. It's one of the major divisions of the UK. So we have the England, we have Wales, we have Northern Ireland and Scotland in the UK. And then the Republic of Ireland is not in the UK. It's actually about 1 hour away. So if you have family and you want to be close to them, you might want to consider being in the Republic of Ireland, but it's not in the UK. It's a totally different country.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. Okay. So a guest is asking if he or she cannot find the refusal letter. So this person have been refused before but can't find the refusal letter. Is it okay to just mention it in their visa application and move on? Jumoke, can you help with that?
Okay.
Yes.
Let me come into help Jumoke. So
Okay.
basically, yes, it's possible. Can someone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Martins.
Okay, hello. I mean,
Hello.
the internet here could be erratic. Yeah, so I realized I was speaking to myself. So, like I said earlier, it's easy to misplace documents. However, if you have your previous visa refusal document misplaced, it is only proper you indicate that refusal on your application form. And of course, if you still remember the reasons for the refusal, it to be pertinent to include that in your visa application as well. The visa officer wouldn't penalize you for not providing the visa refusal letter.
Okay, thank you very much for
Provided
that.
the refusal is declared.
Yes, provided the refusal is declared and the reason for the refusal is stated. Okay, and remember what we said about refusals earlier. If the refusal was based on fraudulent documents, it could be challenging. Okay, yes. So please make sure you disclose every information to your UK EAS counselor so that they will be able to advise you appropriately. All right. The next question is from Joanna, and she wants to know if she holds a scholarship, whether you would still need to provide proof of payment for fees. I believe you can just use the scholarship offer letter, Mr. Martins. Am I correct?
Yes. So basically,
Just-
it depends on who is issuing the scholarship letter to you. Basically, we always advise students to if you're looking at gaining full scholarship, apply to the recognized sponsorship bodies. You know, we have the very popular ones. The likes of NDDC and others, so to say, recognized by the Irish government. Now, if you are using just a sponsorship letter from an individual, that wouldn't suffice, so to say, because you need to provide evidences of the person's funds and something to show that, yes, the person has the financial wherewithal to put your academic bills in Ireland. And most importantly, you also would need to provide evidences of where the person got the money from. That's the source of income, so to say. So if you have a scholarship letter from a recognized scholarship awarding body, recognized by the Irish government, you could only use that for your visa application and it's going to pull through. And I must also mention that we've seen cases where some universities offer full scholarship to applicants. I know that University College Dublin at times could offer full scholarship, merit-based scholarship, of course, to international students. So in such a case, all you need to provide is just the offer and the scholarship confirmation, and then you don't need to provide any financial documents, so to say. Of course, you can only provide the financial documents that shows that you or your sponsor actually have a sufficient funds to cover your living expenses, in that case, except you are getting scholarship covering full tuition and living expenses. But if you cover just your tuition fee, then you need to show bank account statement, that shows the living expenses, which is estimated at €7,000 minimum. And of course, like Loveline, my colleague, mentioned, the living expenses is actually €7,000 minimum, but you could spend more than that depending on your lifestyle. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, that does. Thank you very much, sir. We've answered most of the questions here. We will be drawing this event to a close in the next 7 minutes. So I would just hurriedly go through any questions we haven't answered. For those who are asking about the HND, I believe we've covered that in detail. And then, yes, HND, all the HND questions, yes, we've covered that in details. For Suleiman Adebayo, yes, you can sponsor yourself if you can have the money in your account. You don't have to have a sponsor. Okay, then
on the self-sponsorship, just to
yes.
add, now,
Yes,
yes, it's possible for you to sponsor yourself, but however, you need to also show evidence that while you are in Ireland, you still have access to funds, and if possible, show documentary evidence to prove that you have a good financial standing in Nigeria, probably businesses, that you could actually come back to on completion of your studies. Those sort of information could really enhance the success of your visa application.
Okay, thank you. All right. So Kwame has a bachelor in IT security from SMC University in Switzerland. Does he still have to provide the English test? Yes, you do. We've rightly mentioned during the presentation and over again during this question and answer session, the English test is a visa requirement. It's not exactly a university requirement, so you have to provide that. Lovely, you want to add something?
Yes, please. We've had cases. I just wanted to share the experience we've noticed in the past, or rather what we've noticed in the past. Now we've had cases where students that graduated from the UK, like they are undergraduates. Yes, I think on a particular case, I was in Abuja at the time. I met with a student who graduated from the UK university. We all know that in UK, their language of instruction is English. And when he applied for visa, I told him about the English requirements, but you know how students behave sometimes. Oh, I studied in England. Why should I provide this and all of that? We submitted the application and he received an email from the embassy requesting for English test. Now, at least Ireland should be able to interpret UK qualification, but they still went ahead to request for it. So we tell students, regardless of where you studied, but we've had cases where students that graduated, that finished their degree in Ireland, of course, some of them come back and want to go back. Yeah, such cases they wouldn't request for because students completed their degree in Ireland. But any other, I don't know why, but it's a requirement. So please, if you graduated from, you've had your master's in the UK and you're considering going to Ireland for another master's, please write IELTS or any of the English tests, so that they don't come back, because definitely they will come back to ask for it. So it's a compulsory requirement.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We've spoken about the bank statement, so please, I'm not sure you heard about that. So just contact your UKS counselor so that we have more time to touch other questions. Okay. For the student asking about masters for nursing students, I'm sure our partner universities have a course for nursing students. You would have to talk to your UK EAS counselor and they will be able to search for that course for you.
Sorry, let me add to that. For nursing,
yes,
unfortunately, most universities in Ireland don't offer nursing to international students, just very few colleges. Yeah, so it may be tough.
Okay.
Then I've seen so many questions on UK as well. Please note that we'll be having a repetition of what we did today for the UK destination tomorrow. So please register, join us tomorrow by 12, and you get all the information you need to know about the UK visa. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that, Loveline. All right, so Akinsola, I think Loveline just answered your question. The UK visa seminar is tomorrow by 12. So same time tomorrow, we're going to be having a UK visa seminar, so you can register to attend that event. Okay. Andrew, unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to take this your question because it's quite technical. You said, if I have an investment in a short-term instrument, do I have to withdraw it, put it in my bank account, or I can just document it? Or Loveline, do you want to say something about this? Investment in short-term instruments, yeah.
It's a bit technical. I don't know if you're referring to fixed deposits, but Ireland, for now, they don't accept fixed deposits. So even if you liquidate the money into your account, you may still need to provide that so that they would see where the money was transferred from.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So Someone is asking, what if he's been denied to 3 major countries, or he has been denied visa from 3 major countries? Is it still possible for him to get a student visa? Loveline?
Yes, it is possible, provided you are not banned.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, it is possible. We'll have to see your refusal letters. It's very important.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Let me see if I can take 1 or 2 more questions before we call it a wrap. Okay.
Hi, Ikenna.
Yes, ma'am.
Ifeoluwa would like to say something about the bank statement.
Okay. Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, hold on, please.
Hello, Ikenna.
Yes. Ife, we can hear you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I've been trying to unmute myself. I unmuted myself to say something all along, but I guess you didn't hear anything. Did you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Can you speak up, please?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better. There was a little echo before.
Everyone, yeah. I tried to say something, all through question and answer session. I unmuted
Okay.
myself, but you could not hear anything. I'm just realizing it.
All right, no
I'm
problem.
going to be saying something as regards the bank statement. Okay, we have a few people whose sponsor are based abroad, especially for those non-English speaking countries. Non-English speaking countries. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so an English translation is required of any bank statement from those particular countries. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when you present a bank statement from the countries like Germany, Sweden, you need an English translation for such bank statements. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so English translation can be done in Nigeria. You could get a translator here in Nigeria to actually, or in the UK or in Ireland, or Ghana. Okay, do you understand?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yes, so I just wanted to hint that in so that people don't just get bank statements from those particular countries. And also, the documents required by the Irish Embassy ought to be original or notarized copies. What that means is you can also get a lawyer. The lawyer would cite the original here in Nigeria. Yes, a notary public lawyer. So then they they make your photocopy original by stamping it. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it makes it original. So I'm just trying to, come from the angle of people who wouldn't want to present their original documents to the Irish Embassy so that they can, have an alternative.
Okay. So any student that wants to submit their documents but do not want to include the original documents can always have a notary public stamp on the photocopies after Sorry, I think there seems to be a lot of interference in the background.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Yes, there's an echo in the background.
Yes.
Okay, that's much better. So for any student who wants to submit their documents but do not want to include the original copies can have a notary public stamp the photocopies after citing the originals.
Exactly.
That's what you just said, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that would validate the photocopy for the Irish embassy.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. That's all we can take for now. We're already way past our time for this event. We would like to say a big thank you to all our guests for joining us. I'd like to say also a big thank you to all my colleagues from the Ghana office. They've been in the background helping to answer questions. Thank you so much for your help, and to all my other colleagues. Mr. Abubakar Loveling, thank you for the presentation. Jumoke, thank you for taking a lot of questions. Thank you, Mr. Martins, as well. So please, we have shared the contact details for all our offices in Nigeria and Ghana. So please feel free to reach out to us for your Irish visa application, and we'll be able to help. It's very technical, so it's a really important that you do so with guidance. And like we've rightly mentioned, all our services are free, so you don't really don't have to pay us for anything. We work directly with those schools. We have a contract with those schools, so we can offer those services to you free of charge. So why make a gamble and get a visa refusal when you can access free advisory service? All right. So thank you so much for joining us. For those of us who are interested in the UK visa seminar. In Ghana, the visa seminar will be holding from, I believe, 11 a.m. Ghana time tomorrow. So you could register for that. That will be a separate event from the Nigerian event that will be holding 12 noon in Nigeria. Thank you so much, everyone, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Sorry, just a little disclaimer before we all log off. I mentioned something earlier about someone dropping a WhatsApp link. Please remember, if you have taken that contact before it was deleted, please do not join any WhatsApp group. That person is not affiliated with UKEAS, as we will not ask you to join any WhatsApp group from this platform. All right, so it's really important. And please do not pay any fees or money to anybody who claims to be representing UKEAS. Is really important. We do not charge for our fees, and we would like people not to take advantage of our events like this. All right. So thank you very much, and do have a wonderful